Hi friends, this is going to be a tips type of video. I'm practicing with this new camera again, so we'll see how well this goes. Alright, and sorry it's late. I've been having to mess with my camera and get a different platform and blah 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 blah. So I got it. Alright, so some tips for beginners, veterans, whatever. This is stuff I've learned over the years from numerous people. So they are not originally my ideas. So, all right. My first tip I learned, well, I did not first tip I learned. One of the tips I learned is from Fiona, Jennings 644. If you have fabric and you like the images on it, I'll see if I can bring this in a little bit. Like on the angels. Oh, wrong way, wrong way. If you wanted to fussy cut out one of the angels off of here, she does fabric stiffener on it. You just do a light coat on the angel with a paintbrush. You let it dry, and when it's dry, you can cut it out. It's a lot easier. It's not floppy, but it's not stiff either. It's still pliable, and it kind of has a glossy finish. So I use this from Eileen's fabric stiffener, and I really like it. I did pretty good with it. I did some skulls and different things, and right now I can't find them because stuff is packed. So, but there's a good tip. If you have a favorite fabric that you like and you want to fussy cut something out like you would on paper, just put some fabric stiffener on it with a paintbrush. Let it dry. Okay, my next tip, see if I can get this right, is we'll have the old bone folders. And when I'm scoring, I am really heavy-handed, and I break through the paper all the time. So I got the McGill. Let's see if I'll zoom back out. So I have the McGill. It's the 2mm stylus. It looks like this. They come in a pack, but I use the 2mm side. And when you're scoring, it doesn't go through the paper. I don't know if that's because it breaks down the paper. It has a wider area, but I've been using a stylus for quite a while because it works better. Another thing I learned is, if anybody out there is like me, you know, papers aren't always 12 by 12 or 8 by 8, 6 by 6. I saw somebody in a video do this because I can't fold in half completely to save my soul. So what you do is you put it up in the corner. Make sure your paper stays in the corner. And now it's folded and it's even. And then if you want to do it again, if you didn't want to score it, but it is pretty even. It as you can see. So so that's a good trick. I just use my scoreboard sometimes if I just want to fold it. You just keep it up in the corner and give it a fold. And they match up really good. Let's see. But yeah. So the paper matched up really good. I should probably done it the other way. Let's try that again. Sorry. Alright. It's up in the corner. Fold it. And they matched up good. And put it in the corner. And you fold it again. And, well, that one didn't quite do it because I folded it the other way. You can see that. But it's pretty close. Better than I could have done it, like, on my own. So, that's just a tip if you want to just quickly fold something, because I can't fold for nothing. So, I use a stylus instead of a bone folder, and I don't seem to go through the pages and crack. I don't seem to have a cracking problem. And then I picked this up. I know everybody has these. I did not know what they were a couple years ago. I had bought a box at a garage sale of craft stuff, and a couple of these were in there, and I gave a couple to my girlfriend, and then I started using it like a bone folder, and now I noticed they have, everybody seems to have them, and this is made by Aroma Chef. So this is actually for something for cooking, the one I have. So it's not made out of Teflon, but it works really well. So that was one of my tips. We can be done with that. Another thing is Fast Grab Tacky Spray. If you really have a big area to cover and you don't want to glue it, mind you, spray it in a box, spray it outside, because whatever this gets on will be very sticky. But it's a good way to cover a big area and can like lay fabric down on it or your paper or whatever, and it sticks right away. So you have to be prepared to do it. But I've used this a few times and the paper does not come off, the fabric does not come off, this stuff grabs and is good. And I learned the hard way to spray it somewhere other than your craft table, because my craft table was really sticky, so I had to get the alcohol out and clean it. That's my other tip. Good tip here. Scissors galore. I have lots of scissors, different scissors. There's something wrong with all my scissors, except for this one, you know. These are all now chipboard and paper scissors, because I did not mark my scissors. So, if you're new, mark your scissors. Mark one for chipboard and paper, mark one for fabric, because none of these will cut any of my fabrics. So, I wised up. I did get one for my crocheting and embroidering, and I marked it. This is, I just put charms on it, otherwise you could just put a piece of tape, masking tape on it, and just write chipboard, paper, whatever. My advice is mark your scissors. Otherwise, you're going to have a big pile of scissors that all do the same thing, and that is cut chipboard or paper. And that'll be it for those scissors. All right. Next thing. Trimmers. Blades. Everybody knows these blades are not cheap. I mark mine because too many times in the past I have been doing a project, cutting paper, and then I decided I'm going to cut some chipboard. And we all know what happens. Next time you go to cut paper, your paper's raggedy. So, if I've accidentally cut with chipboard, I do a permanent marker on it. So I know this is going to be my chipboard one. If it doesn't, paper. Because I have gone through too many of these, and I was not smart enough to mark them sooner. So, that is my other tip. Okay. We all know baby wipes are good for cleaning everything up, because you can get them at the dollar store. So I do. But Eileen McInnes, she uses coffee filters, because the dollar store we know has coffee filters. And so you can dab your inks, you know, wipe off your excess ink, paint, whatever. And then when you're done with them, if you get a good stack of them, you can make flowers out of them because they're already colored with inks, colors, whatever. And, or use them in your mixed media. I know she's not the only one who's done this, but I just recently started getting some coffee filters because I'm trying to get into mixed media. So I bought coffee filters, and then afterwards you can use them for other projects, and they have all your different colors on them. Another thing is, I never waste my chipboard. I don't go, when I have extra chipboard, it doesn't matter what size. I have some that's half this size or whatever. I just put my laces and trims on it, because you don't need a fancy one unless even if you're displaying it. If you just have the laces on it, it still looks pretty. So I use any size chipboard. I've even used little pieces that are like, you know, 2x3s for my smaller laces and stuff. I do not throw away any of my chipboard, so I use it for my laces. I know everybody's been into that embossing buddy and different things, and it's just powder or something. I found I just keep fabric softener sheets and just wipe it on my paper and then do my embossing powder, and it works the same. And these are cheap. You can get these at the dollar store too. So I just use fabric softener sheets, takes the static out. That's what it's for. Lindsay, the frugal crafter, she used a travel baby wipes container. For some reason, our dollar stores did not have any, and I refused to pay more than $1 for it because I wasn't going to use it. She took the paint edgers, the replacement pads. They have like a lip on each end. Of course, I cut it not very well since my scissors are cruddy. And then I just hot glued it. As you can see, the hot glue. And one says dry, one says wet. You might have seen this video from Lindsay. You just spray your wet side with some water and put your stamp on here, and then dry your stamp off here. And it's a stamp cleaner. Cheap, cheap. Liked it. Thank you, Lindsay. And this was supposed to be a magnetized needle holder from Solutions. I got it at Joann's. Guess what? This part is the magnet. Didn't hold my needles for nothing. So that was a good one from Lindsay. It's just water. Okay. As we all know, everybody has one of these for cutting chipboard. It's uncomfortable if you're cutting a lot of chipboard. I know when I was doing my big projects and doing vanity and I'm doing a grandfather clock, this hurt my hand. Well, when we're cutting chipboard, so box cutter. I'll tell you what, this thing has saved my hands so many times. These are good for getting into little places, but when you're cutting the amount of chipboard I was cutting, this is the best thing. It's for cardboard. So I advise to invest in that. Dollar Tree. I got this. It's the pumice stone. Instead of buying something all fancy and whatever to distress your edges of paper, this does the same thing. $1. The pumice stone, or they just have the round ones. They have heart ones, whatever. And then it's a good thick brush on this side. Of course, we all use these, and mine's well used. So that was another tip that I have learned over the years. Then I picked up this from at Joann's. They have them in those little bins by the checkout, and I used it. I did this pin cushion with the milk glass piece and some decorative. I'm so lost for words right now. Lace, duh, and my stick pins on here. This piece right here is actually these. I'll open one. These are 5x7. You actually get 4 of these in a pack. They're, let's see how thick, 1/4 inch. So 5x7, 1/4 inch. And I just traced what I needed for this, and can layer them if you need it thicker. But these are really cheap. So you get 4 in a pack, and I think they were like $2 at Joann's. So it's called Quick Craft. And I love these. I really do. Other things. Let me just check. I'll let you look at this for a second. Okay. I'm just checking. We all know I mentioned use rubbing alcohol, cleaning your mats, and you got to get like the 90 some. Otherwise, it doesn't really work as well. Oh, and another thing I learned from Lindsay, the Frugal Crafter, is if your ink pads are getting dried out, she uses 100% vegetable glycerin that she gets at a health food store, and she just sprays her pads down and with it, and it's like it re-inks them. And she uses just pure glycerin on a certain pad, and that's just her clear embossing pad. So that would be save some money if you just do that. She said it's like, I think it was like 8 something for a bottle, but it's 100% vegetable glycerin, And so yeah, she uses that, and I thought that was a really good idea. And coming soon, now that I got everything for, well, it took months, but finally got everything together to make my own shimmer mist, glimmer mist, whatever. And so hopefully I will be doing a video on that. But this was just a quick tips video. I did not come up with all these ideas. It's just things I have seen over the years, so from different people. So I am not taking credit for it. I am just sharing it. So I hoped you liked my tips, and if you have any, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you.